Hey, how's it going? I'm Jonathan Pruitt, and today we're going to be talking about 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. This is Jim Davis. He's been my longtime DM. Jim Davis, what do you think?
Let's kick down the door and play some D&D.
Yeah. Now, Jim, we played a lot of D&D. Maybe there's some people out there who aren't as experienced.
Yeah.
What would they need in order to get into a 5th edition game?
You're going to need some kind of rules, and they've got the free ones online, or you can buy one of the books. I don't care. I'm not making money off of it, so you can do whatever you want. You're going to need some kind of dice.
Yeah.
Part of the fun of it is having this huge either dice bag or a box or something of dice. There was one guy we played with that had his violin case full of dice. That was fun. You just need enough for the group.
Yeah.
Individual dice are obviously best, but if you don't, I mean, there's even like iPhone apps that you can just have for that
to roll your dice.
Yeah.
I tried a few of those, but I don't know, man. Just the feeling of rolling a die.
There's nothing quite.
Like sometimes
it.
you just crit,
Sometimes
just like
you
that.
Just crit. Good
and
Lord.
That's just what happens. You're also going to need a 5th of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
And then you'll get a bag for free.
I hear they come with bags. Yeah.
And I've had that for well over a decade.
Yes. In terms of like minis, you don't have to have the whole miniature setup. You know, you can have a piece of paper that you use. The big difference between 4th edition and parts of 3rd, where miniatures really started to become a necessity.
Yeah.
You can kind of step back and go, I've got a chalkboard, I've got a piece of paper, I've got an awesome like butcher paper block that I'm just going to draw all over for every time. And it's like those restaurants where you just put it over the table and just
because that's all we did for years.
Yeah.
Just something for context, and then you can fill it all in your head.
Right. But something to help you keep track of what's going on in combat. And then, of course, the most important thing is a group of people you enjoy actually spending time with and playing with. Right, so you can always just go take a nosedive into your nearest gaming store, and if they have an open gaming night or a bulletin board like that, or you can just get a bunch of your friends together and be like, hey, I don't know, this is fun.
Yeah.
You know, we could try this out. So for the people who've never played before, you need some kind of dice, even if it's just enough for the group. Some way to keep track of things in combat, whether it's just a piece of paper with writing on it, or if you go all out. I've always wanted to build a dungeon out of Lego and play that way. That's a little too much for me right now.
Yeah.
I don't have the space for it.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. And then obviously the rules of some kind. And friends. That's the best part.
Yeah, most definitely.
Isn't it? Yeah. It's my four rules of game. My four priorities of gaming: friends, food, dice, game. That's how it is. You need something. Yeah, you're at the heart of it. You're hanging out with your buddies.
Hierarchy of gaming.
Yeah, you're hanging out with your buddies or people. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes they're just
Sometimes they're just random people.
So far, we've played a few games of 5th edition, and it's a short time it's been out here for the last 6 months or so.
Yeah.
What's some of the highlights of the games that we have played in your opinion?
In the game that you ran, where me and another player tag team paladins, was really fun. He playing more of the protection defender type, me being more of the for our Warcraft people Redidin. Yeah. I know that's going to upset some people out there, but it's fine. There was a fun class to play in the game, and it's a fun class to play at the table. So I had a lot of fun with that, and the synergy that worked between two classes, but with different subspecialties in them. Yeah. And so, like, the different ways the two of us could tag team an opponent and keep them locked down, or the warlock that I'm playing now that has, dark, the devil's sight that lets him see in the dark, and he's going to drop darkness everywhere and breathe fire on him because he's a dragon as well. And it just seems fun.
Yeah.
Right. The Horde of the Dragon Queen was... It was what it was, and I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a combat. It was a combat module.
Yeah,
and we have a lot of players that like to role play.
Yeah,
not just. I mean, I like combat, but
still,
I was running it, and I was like, all right, another combat. Let's play it. Okay, cool.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey, roll initiative.
There it is.
But
it goes quickly.
It does go quickly. That's the one thing that I can't stress enough. I mean, we had 5 players and. It's like 7 combats in one round. I was completely blown away. It wasn't like the old days in 3rd edition where it was like
even first level characters.
2 hours of setup, 3 hours of combat, you know, or 3 hours of combat, 2 hours of downtime.
Yeah. So you took the plunge and you were our group's first DM for 5th edition, which is a big deal.
I bought the book and I said, screw it. It was fun. There are some online tools, and I will say I did not take advantage of those, but the setup for the game itself, it was pretty easy to prepare for. Again, I just kind of found the material a little monotonous, and I mean, I've run other modules that were a little bit more in depth, and they give you a little bit more leeway of kind of disseminating clues and things like that. And this is like, well, if you need to go over to this hut and find this thing. Yeah. What if they don't go to that hut and find that thing? Right. Well, I got to move it over here, I guess. I look forward to giving another go at the behind the screen, because there is a story that I do want to tell. But until we get to that point,
now you get to play your
I'm going to
Eldritch
enjoy
Knight.
playing. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy playing Lucien Picard, captain of the Eldritch Knights
of Sidonia.
Engage. Yeah. Be careful now, Jim.
I think in terms of archetypes. So for me, I might think the knight in shining armor or just the heavily armored fighter. How can I do that? Is he a fighter this time around? Is he a paladin? Can I make him as a cleric? There's times that I've done that. Yeah. And so I try to think of something that's evocative, something that has a cool imagery. That's why the art in the books is so important to me. Something from a story or a movie I've seen. And then I go, okay, how can I make that work within the rules?
Thanks again for watching WebDM. We're going to have new ones every Wednesday. Tell your friends. Come back next week.